Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today I'm going to show you how to install a microwave underneath a kitchen cabinet. We're going to mount it up into this area right up inside here. So I'm going to show you what kind of tools you're going to need. I'm going to explain the procedure to you, and then we're going to go ahead and get this microwave mounted underneath the cabinet. This one is actually, not that I'm pushing one brand over another brand, but this one just happens to be GE, and that's the one that I'm going to be installing here. I did buy the mounting kit, which comes with the template, so you can measure out the template so you can drill it correctly the first time without making multiple holes inside the cabinet. So let me show you what tools we're going to need, and then we're going to get started. Alright, I did cut the template down already, but I'll explain that to you as we go along. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, the first thing we did is we actually look at the microwave itself, and we have the mounting holes right up in the top right here. So what we need to do is to have these holes up inside here so that we can mount it from the inside here down and through the cabinet and into the top of the microwave itself. All right, I will point this out to you. See the back of the microwave? You have that little bit of an area here. It's a 1-inch area that sticks out through the back. So make sure you take that into accounting for your measurements of where you're going to put the holes through here. So the cabinet itself is a 12-inch deep cabinet, which is what it calls for. So that's where we're going to mount it up underneath here. All right, so this is the template that we actually got for this particular model. It does come with a multiple, show you. It does come with multiple templates, all different templates for different models depending on what you have, and that's the installation kit that we got with it. Not that we got with it, that we actually purchased with it. All right, so this is the template that we are going to use for this one, and the way we know it is the right one is we know the microwave is 24 inches across, which is what this one is here, and these holes right here line up perfectly to these holes up at the top right here. Okay, now what we did is we took the template and we cut the back section off. This shows you where that piece juts out in the back, so that we have on the side right there. So we cut it along that line and removed it. We trimmed it down on this side here and this side here, so it's exactly the size of the microwave. And then what I did is I cut this off in the front right here. Okay, so we can put this inside the cabinet, and this is how the microwave will mount up against the cabinet. I want this hole here as close to the front as I possibly can get it, and as you can see, these are not exactly straight across from each other. You see the difference? All right, so now when you put this template in the cabinet, make sure you have it the inside of the cabinet template, because on the other side is the outside from the bottom. Okay, so that's not the way we're going to do it. We're not going to do it from the bottom. We're actually going to do it from up on the top of the cabinet itself. All right, next thing we're going to need is, here's an example of what kind of tools you're going to need. You're going to need a screwdriver, a Phillips head, and a flathead. You're going to need something to measure, a pair of scissors to cut the template. We're going to need a drill, which is a 1/4-inch diameter drill, but I'm also going to use a smaller drill to drill a pilot hole first, because when you try to drill with this, sometimes this bit walks around. So I'm going to drill a very small pilot hole with this first. If you don't have a smaller bit, then you can use just a center punch, and up on top of the cabinet you put a little dimple in it, and then you can drill it with this. All right, these are the different screws that came with the kit, and these are the different brackets that we need to put onto the back of the microwave itself, so that it sits flush up inside here. And by flush I mean, if you look up underneath the cabinet right here, you see this distance right here? The microwave here, this part of the microwave, is going to sit flush right up against the bottom right here. The problem is that this part of the cabinet is not going to be up in there touching there, and it won't be gripping on here as well, because remember, we had it out to accommodate this right here. So the microwave itself is going to be out probably around here someplace. So we need to put a bracket on there to keep it from pushing up into here when we screw the screws up into here. So we're going to calculate which ones we need now of these brackets, and then we're going to get this job done. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this template And I'm going to come up inside the cabinet right here, and I'm going to put that template up in here, and I'm going to tape it down in place so we know what's going on. All right, so let's get started with that. Okay, now on top of the microwave itself, we're going to take out these little pieces right here. You want to be careful not to scratch anything, so we're going to take that out. We'll take this out as well. This one. Same thing over here. Let's take that out. Okay, now that we have those out, now what's going to happen is inside the cabinet itself, these brackets are going to be up inside the cabinet so that the screws actually come through that and then into the top of the microwave. All right, so first thing we're going to do now is we're going to put those brackets in the back that came with it. We're going to look it up according to our model to see which ones we're going to use. So we're going to put them on here, this end here, and this end here. And then we're going to make our calculations up inside here. We'll put our template in, and then we'll drill it. All right, so let me just get the template up there, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to drill it. Okay, now looking at it up inside the cabinet itself, remember, making sure we use the one that says inside, which is what it is. We laid out our template according to how we're going to install the microwave underneath the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to make it even on this side here, 2 inches. And we're also going to check it on this side over here to make sure that this is 2 inches as well, which it is. All right, so now we're going to make before we make any holes in here, we're going to measure the distance from here, from the center bolt, all the way to the back to make sure it's the where we want it to be mounted. And then we're going to drill a hole here, 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 and here. And we're going to drill very, very small holes first through here so we don't splinter the cabinet itself. So let me grab my drill and we'll continue. Okay, now we drilled the small pilot hole, we're going to drill the bigger holes through. Okay, now we can take, after we've drilled these through, we can take our template out, and then we're going to lay these metal brackets in here, like this, and that's how the screws are going to go through into the cabinet down below. So let's take this out of here, and we'll continue. Okay, now we have our holes drilled in here, and we put our mounting the metal bracket up on the top here, on both left and right side. Down underneath the bottom right here is where the bolts are going to come through. Now these bolts here have to stick past here by about, I think it's at 3/4 of an inch, between 3/16 and 3/4 of an inch. So as you can see, these are the correct bolts for this particular application. Yours may be different, but that's the way it is in this one. All right, next thing we're going to do now is we're going to lift the microwave up, and once we lift it in place, then we'll come back and I'll show you how to tighten it up. I am going to have to put the camera down because it's pretty heavy to be lifting up. Okay, now I'm going to lift the cabinet up. I have my screws sticking through here. I have my Phillips head screwdriver ready to come up here and turn it in. So let me see how this goes, and we're going to get them caught in here. Once we have it caught and it's suspended, then we can let go of the cabinet, of course, and we can tighten them evenly all the way around. We'll tighten each one up like 2 or 3 turns and just keep on going in a circular pattern until it's up against here and flush where it belongs. All right, so all right, let me lift it up and I'm going to get it caught. Okay, now when you screw these screws in, I would recommend using a hand operated screwdriver, because if you get in there with an electric one, you have run the possibility of stripping the screws out. And if you strip the screws out, then you really have a problem, because it's not going to hold up. All right, but that's how it is, and this is the finished product. So. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.